Now let's create an area for our taillights to go. So let's go ahead and move to the back side, and we need to create some sort of an area for our taillights. And I'm going to create a kind of an L shape. You can create sort of whatever shape that you want. But the first thing I'm going to do is take this edge that we have right here, and I want to just move this over just a little bit. Okay. What you can also do is, if you want to move this edge, you can slide it. So you can go slide edge tool, middle mouse drag to slide that over. Okay, that's another way you can do it. You could also come in and redraw that. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose this edge as well. We'll slide it over. Alright, so let's say we want our taillight to be in this sort of area up here, right in here. So let's go ahead and add another edge loop right in there. Let's move it out just a little. Grab that new loop and move it out so we've got a more of a nice curve there. And that'll give us a little bit more resolution to work with. Now let's take our faces. Basically, let's take kind of these faces here. Let's go ahead and extrude those in, and we'll just extrude them in like so. And you get a little issue in here. We can take our point, go to our normal move axis, and just move that around so that it kind of looks the way it's supposed to. Let's go ahead and move this in like this. Okay, maybe move this in as well. And just kind of shape it any sort of way that you want to. I'll go ahead and select those faces and I'll just extrude them in, making sure I don't have anything else selected. Okay, go ahead and extrude those in straight away. Something like that. It's going to be a little bit of an angle, so you can use either. You can push them in like that if you want to. And if we want a little rim in here, we can extrude those again. Scale that down just slightly. And again, you may have issues down here. So just grab that other point and move it down. It's kind of hiding back there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab that and move it over. Okay, now again select those, just the interior faces. All the way to the top. Just make sure we don't have anything else selected. And then we can go ahead and extrude this in. And in again. And maybe one more time if we want it to be nice and tight in there. Okay, and that'll give you that kind of shape, which may or may not be what you want, but depends on what you're looking for. Let's go ahead and grab the back of this, and we can use this for our cover, our taillight cover. So we'll just deselect everything else and go ahead and duplicate those faces. So we'll go duplicate, and we can pull them off. Okay, so that we have that available when we're ready to create that cover. Okay, let's go ahead and actually add a little bit of detail in here to do that. So I can extrude this, push it back, and delete those faces, reverse the normals. Okay, select that face there, go ahead and extrude that, scale that down. Again, the same place, we're going to have some issues here. So we can deal with those right down here. I'll pull that down. Okay. And let's give it a nice facet, much like we did the headlight. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. Something like that. And then again, we'll bit of a extrusion there. And we'll go ahead and fix this. Down here. Okay, and then we can add an edge loop in here if we want a kind of a tight edge right in there. And that should match up nicely. We can go ahead and add our clear blend to that. You can see that that shape now will match up very nicely. So go ahead and move that into position. Okay, I'm going to scale it down just a little bit. And then we can just tweak it to match that shape of the outer portion there. So, all right, so once you've got your headlight area built in and the cover, the next thing we can do is reuse some geometry to fill this in with pieces. So we've got some geometry on different parts of the car that we can take advantage of. We've got definitely some different headlight parts up here and also some parts in different areas that we can use back here. So we don't have to model all new details if we don't want to. We can kind of reuse things and it'll look like it's kind of part of a theme. So let's go ahead and finish out this taillight in the next lesson.